اليوم اريد احضر CX Next. عندي لقاء جدا متحمس عليه مع CEO لCxpa International Institute. واتمنى ان الحلقه هذه تعجبكم. حنتحدث في اشياء مهمه جدا عن كيف الاكزام والاختبار، وايش المستقبل لمن ياخذ السيرتيفيكت وشهاده Cxpa، وايش توجه Cxpa في السعوديه. فأتمنى أن الحلقة هذه تعجبكم. Hello, Mr. Greg. It's a pleasure to have you with me. Gentlemen, I would like everyone to be glad as I'm glad to meet this guy. And for the past, honestly, few years, as a passionate guy about CxPA, a passionate guy about the CX, basically, and the movement that's happening internationally and locally. CxPA is one of the organizations that really I have passion about. And see that it's not just a leader, an organization or an association that really helps to put everything on track. That future-wise for individuals, this is one, which is important. Secondly, as a governance for any new regulations which are related to any transitions in the CxPA and all of that. Hoping we could discuss also about the prizes and all of that. What's your plan? So I would like just give us a short introduction about it.
Waleed, first of all, it is great to be here. It was just last week that I was reading your posts on LinkedIn, which I really loved, explaining that UX is part of CX. All the different things that are part of CX. Yes. And together, we are going to get people to understand what CX is.
Yes, inshallah. This is my, this is honestly a goal that really I have. I'm not looking to have this only, let's say, in the Saudi or Arab or Gulf region. I'm looking to have this relationship internationally, as we are having this now.
And that's what I think is so great about CxPA. But let me step back. And for those who don't know me, my name's Greg Melia, CAE. That's Certified Association Executive. And 5 years ago, when I was looking at my next opportunity, and I saw CxPA posted as a job opportunity, I didn't know what it was. And I was curious, and I had perceptions that it was just people who worked in contact centers. And I thought, I don't want to work in contact centers. So luckily, I went and I read a little bit more, and I found out just how much research and design and collaboration and leadership CX professionals do. And I thought, this is the things that I've always been passionate about. And so that's how I came to be involved with CxPA. And somebody asked me yesterday what I was proudest of with CxPA. And I think what I'm proudest of really is that we're able to have this conversation. Me from Columbia, South Carolina in the United States, you from here in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, will probably talk about ideas from our colleagues in India and in Cameroon and in Brazil. All of us share that passion that customer experience can make the world a better place. And this trip, I'm excited because we're opening some new chapter opportunities and some new, some really meaningful ways to help demonstrate leadership in the world from Saudi Arabia. Amazing. So thank you for being on this allowing me to be on this podcast and talk about them.
No, it's a pleasure. So, as you have mentioned, you're here in Saudi. There is a reason, for sure. We are happy that you're here, 100%. Because let me tell you from a perspective of a person, how do I look to CxPA in Saudi? How the presence, honestly. The presence is that it's there and it's not there. This was one of the issues that I was usually facing and challenging, because people need to understand what's this organization doing, it's the vision that they are taking, what's the goal and the support they're giving. It's not just a vision that they have for an area of, let's say, US or north or south of US or Europe. No, it's a world vision that how this transformation needs to happen. So I would love to hear why. It's a pleasure to have you here, but why are you here?
Yeah, well, I mean, first, I'm going to get to another year milestone, but first I'm going to share that Cxpa has set a 10-year goal. And that 10-year goal is leading to 2034. And that is that by that time, we want customer experience to be known as a preferred business discipline and to be recognized as a preferred career choice.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And there's work to do, which is why we've given ourselves a long runway. Being here in Saudi Arabia has to be tied to the visionary work in setting Vision 2030. Because from the opportunity that I'm here for to what I see happening, Saudi Arabia is intentionally designing the culture and the business opportunities to think about how to create a better and different world by putting customers first and putting customers at the center of everything. And that's led in Saudi Arabia, of course, by the wonderful focus of government.
Yes.
And so very pleased, to share that Cxpa is signing a memorandum of understanding with the Saudi Digital Government Authority.
Amazing.
And we are going to work together over the next 3 years and hopefully long beyond to make an impact in the understanding of CX across the 470 different government offices that DGA works with, as well as engaging the governments from around the world, whether that's in Singapore, the United States, or in Amsterdam, or Panama, to say, how can governments better serve their citizens?
That's amazing. And going back to, I would like to highlight two things that you said in the vision of Cxpa, which is, you let me feel that, okay, after 10 years, I will have this dream which I had about CX, because I usually, and this was from the beginning, I knew that CX is something that any business, it's profitable or non-profitable, even on personal level, that if you take this mentality, that makes a difference. I see it as, basically like a person who's looking to be a healthy person. See it as a government or an institute or an office. You need to do that hard work, which is either not eat a lot of fat, especially here in Saudi, as you can see.
I'm not doing a great job on this trip. I'm enjoying my Saudi food.
No, it's okay. We are happy to have you there. And also to do that exercises and all of that. That's the most, challenge that any person has, an organization, the discipline. Exactly what you have said. So this is one. The second thing, the career path. We always see that the CX and the tree itself, CX, call center, customer care, customer service, loyalty, all of these, they have the lowest, I'm not saying salary appreciation. They're not appreciated. Is it because they are not related to ROI correctly and the impact of ROI? So I apologize. I will discuss DGA on a separate and the vision. This is amazingly.
Yeah.
But these two words hit me in the heart. Honestly.
I love that. And I agree. I'm so pleased that we're focusing on this idea of a business discipline, because discipline means that there is an understanding that there is a structured way that results in a certain outcome. And so, in the early days, customer experience really was a passion.
True.
We should have passion, but we should have passion around the discipline, not just passion.
True.
And so I'm excited about the work that we're doing there. I'm thankful to the people who helped to write the body of knowledge and the book of knowledge and the CCXP certification. We can talk more about the career pathways. But I want to go to that second element that you said, and that is the question about recognition and appreciation for the people who work in customer experience. And I think that we have a difficult challenge. Very few people have gone to school to learn customer experience, and even fewer CEOs or C-suite officials have been taught about customer experience the way that they were taught about marketing, finance, human resources.
True.
So two things that we're looking at. One, how do we integrate customer experience into the business school curriculum so that every business leader is introduced to the idea of customer experience? And then secondly, how do we create pathways for people to explore and advance their careers in customer experience? You know, when people have a passion for helping to drive success for their business, for their colleagues, and for customers, it results in good things.
True.
And that's why I love working with the CX community.
True. Because it's at the same time, when the CX people or any organization, the employee experience is appreciated like the CX, it really, as they say, reacts to the full organization. Because usually the CX team are a happy mentality. This is what I see. I have met both genders and from multiple nationalities. You will know a CX guy or a CX person immediately when you see him. He has a different mentality. As they say, very kind mostly. I'm not saying everyone else are in different
caring, empathetic.
Empathetic, that passion, caring about the customer, his smile and all of that, and takes that concern. These are elements that really impacts the organization all because of this person or this department are happy. So it pressures and impacts like I'm not saying a virus, but it's a good methodology to really help the organization grow from as you remember the most greatest story about Zappos, what Tony Hsieh did about his organization, and until Amazon bought it. So you could see that how he took that and he built it around the customer basically. So going back to DGA, so you have said now there is an amazing journey that you're building with them. So this is an amazing vision for me as a Saudi, honestly, to see that this is happening. So what will be the second step?
So the commitment and intent is for us to work together to help to define not just the digital, but also the rest of the customer experience programs that a government program needs to think of. And there's no better partner than Saudi DGA. They just were ranked number 6 in the world in the United Nations e-government rankings. But they recognize that digital is only one part of the customer's experience. And so working together, we're going to think about how we can create and extend those journeys to design the rest of the spaces. So we anticipate that we will have frameworks. We will likely have training and certificate and certifications. There will be a pathway towards earning CCXP, but there are many people who work in customer experience that work on delivering the strategy rather than developing the strategy. So we want to make sure that we have certificate programs for folks and have the CCXP certification as well. The most exciting part is a commitment to have CXPA and Saudi DGA work together to bring together different government CX leaders to exchange ideas on what's working and to use that as a area and element to drive things forward.
Amazing. So do you think that someday we will see that the exam itself getting translated to Arabic?
I think that there's, thanks to the leadership of the Saudi chapter volunteers, we've already translated some of the beginning materials. And I think that the answer is yes. I think we will probably are moving very quickly into a space where if we have the commitments from the government and from companies to have people be certified, it is not a terribly long or difficult process for us to translate and execute the exam. The big challenge is we need to make sure that the market wants it. I think our viewers would probably be very interested to hear that over the last 12 months, there have been 7 different jobs that have been posted on the international job board based in Saudi Arabia that listed CCXP preferred.
Yes, exactly.
You know, so if you're looking for that difference to make the case for your advancement in your organization, or to be hired, or to be a consultant and be respected as a consultant, CCXP is an outward badge and indication of your knowledge, commitment, and experience. But it also opens up a whole new level of connections. You know, to be able to know others that share your passion, share your knowledge, that's the opportunity.
Amazing. So thank you, Greg, again for highlighting about our dream that to see it in a language. I think so. There are multiple languages now in Cxpa, or in English only.
Right now it's English and French.
So we really, I hope that we see it in Arabic. So my other question, which relates to this one, which is, what do you have an advice for people who would like to prepare? I know that we could enter and put as they say, and get the book of knowledge, and immediately after we enroll, and that's there and as a support from Cxpa itself. So my question is that, okay, how can I really prepare to hit my target from the first time?
That's really great. And what I really like about the CCXP is it's designed to allow you to choose your preparation path. You know, so the first thing that somebody needs to figure out is how ready they are.
Okay.
And so the first thing I would do if I were preparing is I would print out the full CX competency. That is the 5 different competency areas with all of the different statements beneath them. And for each one of those statements, go through and ask yourself, am I really good at this? Have I studied this? I like to use highlighters, and if you feel confident, mark it in green. If you read it and you know that you are responsible for that activity, or that you do that activity, but you're not sure whether you do it right or you're just doing it because you're doing it the way you've always done it, mark it in yellow. If you've never done the task that is there, and that happens because sometimes we have teammates who have strengths that we don't, mark it in red. And that will give you a roadmap of how much work you need to do.
Yeah.
It will also give you direction on where to go. So when you're looking at that, if you have a lot of yellow and red, you probably want to take a course. And what's exciting now is you can do on-demand courses in Arabic through CX University. You can do training here in Saudi and the Gulf region through our recognized training providers in-person programs. Or you can find others that are available that are doing training on specific courses that are on the topics. They may not be preparing for CCXP, but they're on the topics.
True.
If you find that it's mostly green with a little yellow, maybe a little pink, as you said, the book of knowledge is your best friend.
Okay.
You know, go on and read that chapter, read that space. Personally, I think it's a great textbook to read all the way through, you know, and to look and have that space. And lastly, if it's mostly green, you can start on the question of how do I take the exam? And that is often going to find a practice examination or to talk to a recent CCXP or find a mentor who tells you what it was like to log on and to answer the questions. Ask them how they prepared, what was useful to them. Ask them if they have advice for you. But you're that way you can tailor your experience. Some people will take 6, 9, 12 months, maybe longer to prepare. Others will go in and maybe be ready to test next week because we don't require you to do courses. We let you be the judge of whether you're ready to be tested. And then we let the test do the work to separate those that know what they're talking about and those that have not yet.
And I think so the pass to pass it's about 80% and above. Am I correct?
Well,
if you get 79, no. So
what I will say is that there is a hard line, and that hard line there is for a reason, because when you hit the bottom of that line, you're at the bottom of where we think is acceptable.
I understand.
And so if you miss that bottom rung, go back and study, because you don't really want to be hanging out at the bottom. You want to strengthen yourself and be higher. I don't remember what the exact number is. And just like golf, if you play golf, there's par, and the number of strokes for par changes.
Yes.
The passing score changes slightly with different test administrations, because each question is rated on its difficulty.
True.
Sorry for getting technical.
No. Thank you. That's amazing. I would love them to understand exactly how is it and how they can. That helps.
I mean, the really big thing that I think people don't understand is that the exam, the questions were written by fellow CCXPs. The questions are validated by fellow CCXPs. It's also reviewed by psychometricians. So this isn't Greg saying whether you're good or bad. This isn't the person who taught you the course saying whether you're good or bad. This is an independent assessment from your peers that is measured against a predetermined standard. So you can trust that when you see a CCXP, it is somebody who is going to speak knowledgeably in the community, has well-rounded experience, and has passion to keep having continued learning. Because once you earn the certification, you still need to do education to keep up and
this is the amazing thing about CX. Honestly, it's reviving all the time. You don't stop. An example now, what I have from going through and sitting with people like you and people that either in Saudi or outside, and we were discussing that it's not a trend, it's the need of the market. The changing of the need of the market, that you see CXP moving with it. It's not stopping anywhere. That's amazing.
I mean, everyone, of course, is thinking about AI right now, and that's an impact. But I mean, think back to before the pandemic. And before the pandemic, hotels were being designed like this space that we're in. Lots of shared areas where you can congregate. Well, during the pandemic, all of a sudden, customer needs shifted, and people wanted to be able to be in their room with a high degree of hygiene and security. And so that shifted the way that hotels needed to think about how they serve their customer. Those same changes happen with the changes in patterns in where people work and how they shop. And so customer experience, I think, will be an ever-renewing future, because as soon as you get your customer experience perfect, the expectations from your customers go up.
True. And 100%, this is something that I believe in, that your customer is, you need to understand how to manage the expectation of your customer. You could see if you enter or meet a person, I want to be number one in customer satisfaction. Thank you, that's great. Are you ready? Do you have your people correctly trained? Do you have that strategy correctly? Do you have that technology? This is something that you see it in a lot of organizations. Unfortunately, they're dreaming of saying that. That's a beautiful dream, but be reasonable.
And too often they start and they say things like, I want to be number one in customer satisfaction, and they think that has to do with a certain score.
Yes.
And instead of focusing on how they satisfy their customers, they focus on how to get that score.
True.
And the two things are not the same.
True.
Yeah, and so we need to figure out how we can really foster that commitment that what we want is not just customer satisfaction, but we want employee satisfaction and we want shareholder satisfaction. So I always like to say, when you're thinking about your customer experience, ask yourself, is this solution good for our customers? Is it good for our employees? And is it good for our stakeholders? And if it's not good for one of those three, go back and do it better.
True. No, 100%. I agree. Because the customer pays for you to continue. Yeah. The board will approve whatever you're going to do, and basically your employees, are they happy of doing it or not?
Now, I think we all want to meet your board.
They're very happy. Don't worry.
The board will be very happy when you deliver the results.
Yes, exactly.
but we need to do a better job as customer experience professionals, making sure that we let people know we're not doing this just to drive happiness. We're not just doing it to drive magical moments. We're doing this to drive shareholder value and to drive business sustainability and to retain market share and to increase loyalty and increase return customers. Those are the metrics and the conversations that help us show the proven business impacts of customer experience.
Which is the customer life value and all of these metrics that really helps for you to understand, are you on the right track? Yes.
And we have to be honest with ourselves, because sometimes we have a tendency as customer experience professionals to think that adding one more thing is adding more value. But sometimes what the customer wants is simplicity and quickness, and sometimes taking something away is actually helpful.
True.
To say, okay, we've made a decision for you, and these are the 3 steps. So it's a discipline, and we need to understand all the tools and all the areas rather than just getting caught up in creating wow moments. Wow moments. One of my favorite quotes is from Megan Burns, Cxpa, who's a consultant and advisor from Boston. And she said that you want to be consistently good and strategically amazing. And I like that, because we should be thinking about where we make a difference. And that's what I love about CX is when we say, where do we make a difference? We make a difference for customers, employees, and shareholders.
True. One more, and I thank you for giving me that time. And that going back to the career path. Okay, let's say I know a person or me who would like to. Now we understood that how he or she will be able to take the exam, and cross inshallah that they pass. Okay, I got the Cxpa. I know I'm in a level of certificate that introduce me that the knowledge that I have in CX is that. If I'm looking that I don't want it for Saudi, internationally. This is one of the things that really, when I spoke to colleagues or friends that I meet, tell them, look, if you have Cxpa and you post it, you will be attracted and you will attract job internationally, because you speak a language that, let's say, from internationally who have this this certificate, let's say, are not more than a percentage of around the world. So they are elite. They are not that big, but it's not hard. It's not hard. You can be one of them. It's not something that you need to do, as they say, to do the right and the left. No. It's something you need to do the hard work, as you said, from either you're good as per the matrix that you really, and competencies that you build on it, and or maybe it will take you 1 year to be ready, but you will get it. It's easy, and don't stop. Please.
I love how much passion you have in what you're sharing. Now, let me share 2 additional things. One, if you're not connected already, one of the real thought leaders from India is Rajat Chawla, CCXP.
I connected to
Kyopo, Know Your Own Potential. And, he has some really great charts that talk about all the different career paths in customer experience. And so for those that are early in their career and you're wondering, where can I go? That's a great resource.
Good.
For people who have their CCXP or are using their CCXP to establish their next level, think about the way that you can volunteer and get involved. It's not just becoming a member of Cxpa, but it's also becoming a leader and connecting with the other people that are driving this forward. You can help write questions for the exam once you're a CCXP. You can write and post to Cxpa's blog. You can help to be a contributor to a publication. All of these open new doors for you and allow you to meet other people who not only are smart like you, but also have that opportunity to get you plugged in to opportunities as they come forward. And that's what I really love is when we look around the world, Cxpa has 70,000 LinkedIn followers, but only 3,100 of them have paid to be members. So that's an elite group. And then only 1,400 have earned their CCXP. And so when you really think, okay, how do I put myself into the pool of candidates that is being recruited by Apple and Microsoft and Tata and government agencies, CCXP can be that piece that is the external validation of what you've already done to bring your career forward. Take that next step. Make yourself a even better CX professional for your customers, and make yourself an even better CX professional for your career.
Greg, I don't want to say close this podcast honestly, but I know your time is precious, and I know that you have other appointments, and I really encourage everyone to connect with you.
Well, Waleed, I'm thrilled that we're here in person.
Thank you.
And I look forward to coming back as a virtual gift, and in person again in the future.
I promise you that it will not be your last, and this is for sure, because you have opened the doors between us and CX, basically, and leading that. So I assure you that we will see you very soon.
Well, I'm thankful for your leadership and the leadership of the rest of the Cxpa Saudi chapter. If people aren't already involved and connected with you and with Cxpa and with me, what are you doing? We invite you. We invite you to come and join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all of the efforts that you really are doing to help us as the Saudi visionaries. To reach that, and wish the same to you, and first to your family, and you to all of the people that you love and have the passion that you can share.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you very much, honestly. Thank you for all. I was Waleed Al-Hamdan from CX Snacks with an amazing CEO of CXPA. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.